My name is Ambreen and welcome to my video. Today we'll be making Victoria sponge cake. So we start off with the sugar. You will need about 200 grams of sugar. Right, now you need butter. So you need to measure 200 grams of butter. Right, once you've measured your butter, put your butter into your bowl. Once you've placed it into a bowl, you mix it. Okay, moving on, I will need 4 eggs. I'll be beating my eggs into the bowl, one by one. Right, you mix it really well. It doesn't look very appealing, but trust me, once it's mixed, it'll look very nice. It will look appealing. So you carry on mixing. Right, now it's mixed, I'll be adding my self-raising flour in. Once my self-raising flour is placed into my bowl, I'll be mixing it vigorously. Gosh lady, this is a really good workout for your arms. Must try. I'm using a whisk. It's smooth enough, so whisk will just speed up the processing in making it extra smooth. So you whisk it until your consistency is very smooth. Now I will be adding baking powder. That's my baking powder. I'll be adding 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Once I've added my baking powder, I'll be whisking it. Until it's completely dissolved within your mixture. Now I'll be adding 2 spoons of milk. Try to use a full fat milk. That's 2 tablespoons of milk. That should be sufficient. It has to be a really smooth paste. See, you can see it's turning into a lovely paste now. And the colour is amazing, it's a nice golden colour. Okay, now you get your greaseproof paper, measure your tins and cut round circles and place them within your tins. That's my mixture. Making sure you have the same amount in each tin. Well, I'm happy with that. Then I move on to my second tin. Okay, when you pour your mixture into your second tin, using the spatula, you make sure you scrape every bit from the bowl. These rubber spatulas are really, really good. Right, in this mixture, I'm going to be adding a bit of cocoa powder, just so we can get a nice chocolatey taste. So you've got one plain sponge and you've got one chocolate sponge. Okay, once the mixture's done, you put your mixture into your second tin. Scrape off all the excess mixture into your tin. So make sure you spread it all around your greaseproof paper, so every bit of the greaseproof paper should be covered. Right, both of my mixtures are complete. I'll be placing them in the oven. Gas mark 160 for 40 to 45 minutes. Right, we'll be moving on to making our buttercream. So for our buttercream, we'll be needing some butter. Okay, and then you'll be measuring your icing sugar. Make sure you whisk your icing sugar now. Right, once you have mixed it, not completely mixed, you'll be adding some milk. So you'll be adding in 1 teaspoon of milk, full fat milk. Once you poured your milk in, you whisk it. Right, I think the mixture needs a little bit more milk, so I'll pour in a little bit more milk because I want to make a very nice smooth paste, and keep whisking on it until you've got a lovely paste. Right, this is what your paste should look like. Not too runny. If you whisk it too much, then it'll become very watery. Okay, now I'll be adding my chocolate powder in, as I want to make a nice chocolatey icing. So you pour your chocolate powder in to however much chocolate you would like in your icing. It's your own preference, and you whisk it. Keep whisking. Okay, I'm quite satisfied with my icing now, so make sure when you take your whisks off, you take out all the batter in between with a spoon. You can use your spoon or you can use your fingers, it's up to you. But here I'm using a spoon. Make sure every bit of that icing is taken off, that buttercream. Okay, this is what it should look like. Lovely. Okay, we are moving on to our next stage now. We will be putting on icing on our cake. Okay. Right, here we go. So this is my chocolate mixture. I'll be putting my icing on top of that, and then I'll be putting the plain sponge on top of that. Okay, here is my piping bag. I'll be putting my icing sugar buttercream into my piping bag. So make sure you use a tall glass to put your bag in, so it's easier to handle then. You can purchase these icing bags from anywhere. I purchased this particular one from Hobbycraft. So make sure you use a spoon and you put the buttercream all the way to the bottom first. This is a cake board. Normally when I purchase cakes, I always keep my cake boards, so when I do bake a cake from home, I can reuse my cake board. What I'll do now is I need to place this sponge cake onto my cake board. Before I do that, I have to take my greaseproof paper off. Make sure your cake is really cold. If you take the greaseproof paper off a warm cake, you'll have a cracked cake, so make sure it's nice and cool. Okay, now what I'll be doing is I'll be decorating my cake. I purchased these particular decorations from Asda, so you can pick these up from anywhere. You can pick them up from the pound shop, any supermarket. And they taste very crunchy. Once I have decorated the inside of my cake, I'll be placing the sponge cake, the plain sponge cake, on top of the cake, like that. And then I'll be decorating my cake. Okay, that looks quite pretty. Now I can decorate the cake with my silver balls. Just a finishing touch, really. Okay, I am going to be putting some chocolate pieces on top of my cake. I'll be cutting the small pieces of the chocolate and just decorate it, really. I'll be placing my chocolate onto the buttercream. So I'm going to count how many dots I've got first. And just cover the buttercream. Oh, that looks absolutely scrumptious, mouth-watering. No, you can't say this was hard. This was a really, really easy recipe to follow. That looks absolutely gorgeous. I would love to see you ladies making these cakes. And that is my Victoria sponge cake. You can always make it a plain cake. You don't have to add the chocolate powder in to make a chocolate sponge cake. But I thought it was a bit of a twist having chocolate at the bottom and a plain sponge at the top. As you can see, I'm adding in extra decoration to go around the cake just to give that lovely finishing touch. Yeah, please make sure you tidy up your mess once you've finished your cooking and decorating. Thumbs up if you enjoyed my video.